Thank you, Father Kelly, Reverend Fathers, virtuous business leaders, any other honored guests, and my dear brothers. From the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verses 24 through 25. Truly, truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. I would like to honor Father Jerry Mischke as my priest hero this evening. He presided over pretty much every 7 o'clock a.m. daily mass at my parish growing up, the cathedral in St. Cloud. He heard confessions on Thursday and Friday afternoons, and from talking to friends and other people, it seems like he's about spiritual director for about half of the city of St. Cloud, the Catholics in it. And you may be thinking, wow, this is a really zealous pastor or a young, energetic associate, but Father Mischke was retired and was just living in the rectory at the cathedral and helping out whenever and wherever he could, which turned out to be a lot. We really knew who ran the parish. I served about 5 or 6 of those daily masses at 7 a.m., and so I got to know him pretty well through my constant contact in those mornings. And what attracted me to him initially was his joy. It'd be 6:30 in the morning, I'd be pretty groggy. My early high school self didn't really want to get out of bed, didn't really want to be there. But he was always singing a song in praise of the Lord. He'd come in singing. He'd normally have a joke also for me in the mornings, which just really set the day straight with joy and with praise of God. That planted the seeds for him to later become my confessor, and then really helped me through some difficult times in my life through middle school and early high school. I remember one instance just quite clearly. I was a pretty fearful and anxious and a little scrupulous also as a young boy. And I think towards the end of middle school, I remember one evening just being curled up in the couch in my family's living room, just fetal position, scared of what I might do to hurt myself, hurt others, hurt God, just very fearful and stuck, kind of looking inward at those fears, at those anxieties. My parents wisely suggested, why don't we meet with Father Mischke if you like? So I said, sure. And yeah, we called him up. It was pretty late in the evening. He offered to meet with me. And I just remember that meeting very clearly. He prayed over me, he prayed with me. He gave me some counsel. But most importantly, he taught me the prayer, Jesus, I trust in you. Jesus, I trust in you. He told me to pray it 50 times on my rosary, and then any time throughout the day as well, where those fears would kind of creep in. I learned in that moment that it was trust that was the secret to his joy that attracted me to him. This deep trust in the Lord, that really was the secret to his joy. And I desired that in my own life and began to really pray for the grace to trust in the Lord more. And it became a huge part of just vocational journey and also spirituality of myself as well. I'm sure Third Floor can attest to that, as I love talking about trust and abandonment. I still try to visit him regularly on my breaks, and as he grows older, it's been painful to see him suffer physically. He's been losing his eyesight progressively and has this neurological condition where he gets these fits where he says it feels like a million needles just poking in and out of his face. And as I reflect on his life and what I've got to know from him, I think of this line from the book, A Priest is Not His Own, where Archbishop Fulton Sheen talks about seminarians and how a lot of them that he talks to are very excited to be studying for the priesthood, but very few to none say they're excited to become a priest victim. And I think what I admire most about Father Mischke is he firmly knows his mission as a priest victim through the sacrifice of his time, even when he's retired, and through the suffering that he offers to the Lord. If by the grace of God I am ordained, I pray that I may too imitate Father Jerry in his example of what it means to be a priest victim. For his witness to me I can say, praise be Jesus Christ.
Now and forever.